part 11 of becoming Episcopalian. Moved out to Colorado, and I didn't want to be a Christian when I moved out here initially. I did have that kind of like residue Christianity mindset, particularly of the evangelical mindset, the traditional gospel and everything. And it just didn't seem like it was working for me. It felt like I was just part of that religion because I just had to be part of that religion. I never knew anything else. In high school I looked into Buddhism a little bit before converting to Christianity, but then after that I was a very specific Christian for most of my life up until the point of me moving out here to Colorado. And so I had so much pain and hurt because of it. I just gave myself a little bit of freedom and tried not being Christian for a bit. I never was able to become agnostic atheist, mainly because I don't know, I just like spirituality, I like religion, I like faith, and I just could never accept that there was nothing to life, and that just seemed like a really bleak existence, and I didn't want to do that personally. But I did look into other religions. I tried kind of neo-paganism for a while. I read Percy Jackson and the Olympians growing up, so naturally I was inclined to Greek deities, and it was like a fashion statement to honor these deities and like various rituals I just kind of made up on the spot. And I did that for a while. And then like every now and then I would dip my toes back into Christianity. I went to a few churches. I went to a ELCA Lutheran church, and they're completely inclusive and accepting. And I went to that church, and it was kind of like a grassroots movement where I lived, and it was a new church, and they were great for what it's worth. It just never really, the Lutheran church and style of worship never personally connected to me. I also went to like a Presbyterian church. I looked into Quakerism for a little bit, and I looked into the history of the church especially. I started looking into the history of the church, and I began to realize that the church is so much more in depth than we give it credit for. Eventually, I did wind up in a post-evangelical church in Denver, Colorado, and they were an amazing church. I met a lot of great people there. Specifically, I met people there that were gay Christians, and they were open and affirming gay Christians, and that just completely changed my life.